I suspect that Bruce Lee were in cramp when he died. As far as I know, he suffered from this illness when he was a kid. He had this illness from when he was a kid.
Welcome to Bruce Lee Real Fight channel.
The man in this interview is Wong Shun Leung. He was a Wing Chun master who studied under Yip Man and was often credited with training Bruce Lee in the late 50s before Bruce Lee left to America. When Bruce Lee back to Hong Kong to pursue his movie career, he often visited Wong to discuss martial arts and fighting styles. According to Wong, they sparred 12 hours in his house in Hong Kong. While Bruce Lee was filming the 1973 Enter the Dragon, he invited Wong to come to the set to discuss the fight scenes. Wong had been invited to choreograph some fight scenes in the film. Wong and Bruce Lee are teacher and student. Bruce Lee studied Wing Chun under Wong for about a year and a half, and they were close friends too. Bruce Lee even wrote a letter to Wong in 1970. In this interview, Wong talks about how Bruce Lee died in 1973. Let's check out this interview. Bruce Lee, as a kid, was a troublemaker. That's why his father sent him to the US. But because he was already a US citizen, he was sent to the US and studied in San Francisco. When he first arrived in the US, he wasn't teaching martial arts. At that time, he hasn't studied Kung Fu for that long. He had only studied under me for about 1.5 years or so, but he was very committed. I remember when he first arrived, he was teaching dancing. He was teaching cha-cha. Sometimes he were able to show off his skills, and then a lot of foreigners would like to learn from him. And from there, he began to teach Wing Chun. Bruce was always asking me if I could only teach him and not the others. In that sense, you could say that he was selfish, but I never agreed with him. You all are students, and if they want to come to train, that's a good thing, and I have no reason for rejecting them. So he came up with these sneaky ideas. Every time he got off schools, he would come home to me before all his classmates, but he wouldn't come in just yet. I was living in Mong Kok at the time. When he saw his classmates approaching, he would run down the stairs. I was living on the third floor at the time. Master Leung isn't here today, let's go home. So when he had escorted his classmates to the bus, he would run back upstairs. So for every class, I ended up only teaching him. This proves that this kid was already very intelligent. At the end, they took out his corpse. There was this white blanket covering him. So I pulled down the blanket down to here. His arms were crossed and placed here, and I uncovered his feet. His toes were cramped together, like his entire body were in cramp. His muscles were all bloated. I suspect that Bruce Lee were in cramp when he died. As far as I know, he suffered from this illness when he was a kid. He had this illness from when he was a kid.